Hi, everyone.
Hi, Kendra.
Hey. Hi, Bethany. How are you doing today?
Good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Showing Up.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
I
Yes,
think so.
everything showed
Yeah.
up. We
Yeah.
showed up. The viewers showed up. But I do, Kendra, is that a Ted Cruz shirt you have on?
So, yeah, my shirt does say Ted Cruz. Um, but it's a shirt from a abortion fundraiser. So the full text of the shirt is Ted Cruz is was the Zodiac killer. So this is not a pro Ted Cruz shirt.
Okay.
We at Showing Up stand against almost everything Ted Cruz
It's a
does.
truthful Ted Cruz shirt. That's what it is.
Yes, this is showing the truth, and it is kind of creepy. It looks kind of creepy, right? Like I wear it because I like the shirt.
It looks like Michael Myers from
Yeah,
Halloween.
people get creeped out.
Have an amulet to counteract.
Yes.
You would never have a Ted Cruz shirt on, but even maybe maybe the irony still will put evil in the airwaves. So we're counteracting.
Yeah, we have 2008 Obama Hope t-shirt to counteract the Ted Cruz being the serial killer.
Yes, somehow. We're working a soap opera. I don't know. Hopefully it'll work here. It's so good to be back.
Yeah. Welcome back. Thank you for showing up again. So today, we're going to be talking about two kind of cool things going on in June, things relevant to June. First one is Juneteenth. Which is like great celebration. And the second one is Pride. And as a gay Black woman, this month is like my hype month. Like February, because it's Black History Month and my birthday month, and then June, like I'm just hype. I'm so powerful right now. Everything's going great.
So powerful. I mean, yeah, this is the coolest of the coolest months. And we're not talking about it today, but I just want to throw in, it's also National Puerto Rican Day.
Oh, hell yeah.
June has all the has the main celebration in New York, the Puerto Rican parade. So yeah, I think probably June is the dopest month on earth.
June is the dopest month.
So we're talking about, you said we're talking about Juneteenth, we're talking about Pride Month. We've got our friends from Ujima to talk about this with us. And what is showing up? We'll tell our viewers what showing up is. You remember?
Yeah, I remember what showing up is. I know what showing up is. So showing up is a kind of variety show about friends, neighbors, activists. We're all showing up talking about social justice and how we could help out our communities. So we have information, we have conversation, we have art and action. Thank you for showing up with us today.
Yes. So exciting. So happy Pride and happy Juneteenth coming up.
Yes.
Did you grow up knowing about Juneteenth?
So I actually didn't. This is actually, I would love to hear if you did as well. So I didn't. I think that's partially because like I grew up in the North, and Juneteenth, when, in its first like iteration, it was very much like a Southern holiday because it's based on the day where I believe in Texas, where they declared like slavery had ended in Texas, which was after the end of the Civil War. And it, like the white people delayed it a little bit, but it was like that day, which is June 19th. So yeah, I didn't grow up knowing about it. But then I started learning more about it in recent years. And I was like, this is pretty cool. This is a good time.
It's crazy that it's not better known. And and I love that it's becoming known. And it's the day. So the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, but there was no Twitter or anything. So getting through all the Confederate states, like the Union troops had to walk through all the Confederate states to make the announcement. And Galveston, Texas was the westernmost of the Confederacy. So isn't that crazy to think the message took 2.5 years by foot? And it would have been known like the second before it happened, probably. But that's super crazy to me.
Yeah.
I think probably like super lefty people, it was like a thing that people knew about.
Did you grow up celebrating it?
We didn't celebrate it, but we knew
Okay.
about it. I mean, we knew like today's Juneteenth. We didn't have a party or anything, but it was like part of our education at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I love that. I love its like huge resurgence, and I love this movement for it to be a national holiday because it really, obviously, always should have. But
yeah. Also, because I know people who work at companies who are white who got off for Juneteenth, but I didn't. I want that Juneteenth day off. Yeah, that was kind of a part about last year. No shade to my employer, who I will not name here, but if I could have Juneteenth off, that'd be great.
I remember when Martin Luther King's birthday was made a holiday, and I remember that thing that would go on. It was a holiday, but like white employers wouldn't give it to anybody off, and would just be like, Martin Luther King Day, taking it off, bye. And then I think it had to be made an official holiday because we were not showing up. We're taking the day to celebrate.
Yeah, sometimes not showing up could be as much work as showing up. Show up to this. Yeah. Show up to this like thing. Don't show up to work if your employer isn't great.
Walk out. That is showing up. So going out, walking out, showing up. That's gonna be our sequel, our spinoff. Is not showing up by not showing up.
Yes. And we all just hang out in the living room. I know I'm in my living. People could probably guess I'm in my living room. This is it basically. But yeah.
I love the light. The light is giving off in the back.
Thank you. Thanks. That's just the window.
Trey adult. As I say in another language, any other language, any language at all. Did I nail it? Adult.
No, in French. What is it in Hindi? I don't even know. I forgot in Hindi. I know child is. Yeah, I took it in college. I know child is butcha. Now I'm gonna look it up. But actually,
amazing you.
Thank you. I try I've forgotten a lot of Hindi. Now I mostly know like silly memes written in Hindi online. Like I'll be like, oh, I know what this meme is about. But anyway, we actually have a really cool guest coming up. We're gonna shake things up a little bit. We're gonna have our musical guest up first, then we'll get to the conversation. Yeah.
Love it. A little shake your body, a little movement break, as they say in Zoom Elementary School.
Yes, exactly. And haven't we all been in Zoom Elementary School for the past 15 months?
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I am very excited to bring up Marcus Jade, who is a blues musician, songwriter, and poet who grew up in Indiana, learned guitar at the age of 14, and was a huge part of Indianapolis's eclectic DIY art and music scene. And his appreciation of a wide variety of music allowed him to gather inspiration from many genres, such as hip hop, metal, punk, before settling into his own unique style of ragged, heart-wrenching blues folk. Yeah. I'm excited to hear. I could go for some heart-wrenching blues folk.
Ragged, heart-wrenching blues. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, we're really excited to bring up Marcus Jade for our musical guest today.
Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
Hi. How's everything going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Sweet. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for and I think we'll let you take it away from here. So hopefully our pictures will be gone and you could just show us your beautiful music.
All right. Well, yeah, my name is Marcus Jade. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. In fact, I just got back today from doing an event. And I've been in Brooklyn for about 6 years now. And it's a pleasure to be here. And I'm just going to get into it. This first song is a song that I wrote, and I'm going to do something a little different with it. But you can enjoy it. This is Black Man's Manifesto.
Mr. Proletariat? Have you come to put your wage at bed? Working classes marching down the line, all annoyed from trying to buy some time. Look at yourself, Mr. Bourgeoisie, stealing all the wealth in front of me. Scientists and anarchists oppose, but dialectics tells me no one knows. And the liberals keep telling me be gone. Just take my hand, I'll teach you to be normal. And executives become the head of state. Just now the capital let's create. I have no patience democracy. Though I'm three-fifths of society, systematic oppression as a rule. Look how you destroy a happy home. My grandfather built the levees just so you can tear it down on me. Look at all the lives that we have lost, all the while we continue to pay the cost. And the liberals keep telling me be calm. Just take my hand, I'll teach you to be normal. And executives become head of state, just to have the capital let's create. I wanna go to the White House, I wanna sign all of those bills for my rights, my rights, my rights. I wanna go to the marches, I wanna scream out your name, I wanna fight, 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 fight. And I wanna speak like I'm Malcolm, and I wanna die not in shame. I'ma join this fight, 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 fight. And I wanna preach like I'm Martin, and I wanna die not in vain. I'ma join this fight, fight, fight.
Thank you. This is another song I wrote. And you can find all my music on marcusjade.bandcamp.com. I want to say shout out to all 113 patrons that I've been happy to meet and happy to get to know. And you can learn more about them and me on patreon.com/Marcus Jade. The song is simple. I just need you to listen.
Been always scared of the night, thinking somebody's coming after me. It never ever serves me right, just leaves me there suffering. I just try to write a simple song to about my loneliness. Like I ever had a decent time to expand on my confidence. But don't you know I'm just a brave little lion heart rolling through the jungle. A curly light champion, rumble young man, rumble. I see you got your pot of gold, but you forgot to make some friends. You spent a decade of your life working for an inflated mortgage. You're insane when you give more than you can. You're the devil when they see the blood stained on your hand. But I know you're just a well-off citizen with a burden on your shoulders. You're walking in a legacy, it's getting colder and colder. For yourself, the moment that you feel betrayed. You start to cry out for freedom when you start to feel like a slave. Let me tell you something, Uncle Sam, he doesn't care at all, no. He just wants your decent dime. In a room full of offenders, you walk a lonely mile. But I know we're just living on a plateau, bouncing on the fade. Eagle's trying to take me over. Everything is at stake. Don't you know we're just living on a plateau, balancing on the fate. The ego trying to take you over. Everything is I stay. Oh, just walk with me now, Lord have mercy. Hallelujah. Walk with me now, Lord have mercy. Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was
Thank
beautiful.
you.
That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks so
it.
much. Yeah, that was excellent. Well, yeah, Marcus will be back for later for a little bit, and we'd love to, if we have time, we'd love to talk to you a little bit more about your music.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
And thank you. Aw, yeah.
Now we are so excited to welcome people from Ujima, Boston. We have Paige Curtis and Sierra Peters from Ujima, Boston. If you have not heard about Ujima, Boston, it is the Boston Ujima Project is a democratic member-run organization building cooperative economic infrastructure in Boston with a mission to return wealth to the working class communities of color. Ujima is bringing together neighbors, workers, business owners, investors, grassroots organizers, and culture makers to create a community-controlled economy in our city. How ridiculously dope does that sound? Paige Curtis is the Communications and Culture Associate, and Sierra Peters, Communications Director. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you should unmute.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we want to
Thank
hear
you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so glad other people still do that, because after 15 months, I still am on mute going, and I'm like, yeah, how did I have not learned this by now? But I think it's just everybody, it's pandemic brain.
First to have it.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for being here today. I'm so excited to have people know about the Boston Ujima project straight from your mouths and your expertise on this. So first question we have for you is, tell us about the Boston Ujima project and any projects or work or like long-term projects that you're currently focused on.
Sweet. I guess I'll start, and Paige, feel free to jump in if there's.
Yeah.
I think, very simply, you read the bio. That is what it is. The Boston Ujima Project is on a mission to return the stolen things back to the working class communities of color of Boston. And so how that looks is, it functions through a myriad of different like practices that are, native to us as like African, Black, POC communities. So for instance, there is the Ujima Fund, which is an economic vehicle through which we like invest in all the things that we want to see, right? Like, I think, when I first got introduced to Ujima, I was like, oh, it's like we pool our money and then we like invest in things. It's like gentrification, but everybody stays. Was like, my very infantile, like 23-year-old rendering of like what was happening at that point. I was like, oh, okay. So through the Ujima Fund, we're able to pool our resources. You can invest at like $50. You can invest at $100,000. And as long as you're a voting member, you have one vote as to where all the money goes. And so, that is one way in which we're disrupting, who gets to have a say and how our communities are governed. Alongside that, there's like the Ujima Good Business Alliance, which allows us to, before people are even invested in, which allows us to say, hey, is everybody getting paid above minimum wage? Is everybody getting paid a living wage? Do y'all have a plan towards green infrastructure or like supporting sustainability in our communities? Do you have a plan for the future as to like, whether or not you foresee having women at leadership levels, do you have like 60% POC workforce? There are 36 standards. So those are some of like the ways that before people even think about getting invested in, those are some of the things that they have to go through in order to receive investment from us. There's a ton of other things, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like which ones are like important to highlight here. But those are the two that I'll shout out right now. Paige, do you have any that are like your favorite from the ecosystem?
Yeah, I think I would highlight two things there, and that was a great intro, Sierra. Actually, I think it connects well to the framing of this show showing up, because I think we also are about art and action, right? So thinking about how just knowing the power of art to kind of liberate people, liberate ourselves, and thinking of artists as economy builders in their own right, I think we kind of stand in and hold really well. I'd also call out our open member team. So we do very much believe in building this with the community. So anybody, if you're a Boston resident, can become an investor, and there are different sort of tiers of membership. If you're not a Boston resident, if you want to stand in solidarity with our work and just be a part of our different open member teams. So I'd also call out that as I think a unique piece of Ujima's work as well, that we're so embedded in the community of Boston that anybody can join our meetings and sort of take part in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and build with us. And there's a number of member teams that like are open for people to join. We have like the Arts and Cultural Organizing member team, which is like pretty much an alternative educational space right now, where like for 3 months you learn with like one practitioner, and you learn how to do something new. Last month, or for the last quarter, it was our Arts and Cultural Organizing fellow, Mercedes Loving Manley, who I'd love to shout out right now because she has like an amazing event going on at the ICA Boston called Pride Extended. So if you go on like the ICA's Instagram, you'll see like all that good stuff. And also you should check her out too. She's like at Pride Extended on Instagram and like I think other social media platforms as well. But yeah, no, that's an excellent one to call out. I mean, we got like the Anchor Institution Strategy member team, which is like, how do we get, the local government and like, all these Harvards and, all these big institutions to say like, oh yeah, we should probably like invest our money and invest our resources into like doing the right thing and like, really not just investing their funds, but also investing their time and their energy towards like, a lot of the values that Ujima espouses. I think one thing that's important to highlight here is that Ujima means cooperative work and responsibility in Swahili. And so, every part of our ecosystem is truly trying to embody that. Yeah. But what's upcoming? We got the gala, on June 24th. We have Disco Virtuale coming up, which will be our virtual gala effort with like 3 other organizations, King Boston, BAMS Fest, and Union Capital Boston. We're all coming together to throw like this super fun, one night of amazingness. There's going to be a really dope MC. There's going to be like a red carpet and I want to do a virtual Soul Train line. So I'm going to try to make that happen.
Oh, hell yes.
Y'all should definitely come out. Get your tickets.
Yes.
That's awesome. Is it a virtual event, live event, combination?
Yeah, it's all virtual.
Virtual. Okay. All right. Definitely there. What to each of you, what brought you to the work you do? You want to start with Paige? What brought you to this work?
Yeah, sure. And I should say I'm a new member of the Ujima team, so I can maybe offer like a newer person's perspective on our work. I joined the team in May, which is really exciting. I came into this work really wanting to leave the world of white-led startup private sector work. I think I've been in a lot of sort of smaller mission-driven orgs that are all well-meaning and justice oriented, but are not led by POC and have a difficult time retaining POC. And I kind of wanted to just be in a Black centered environment that was really about Black leadership and Black staff and kind of promoting that as part of our culture. So I had been in Boston for about 2 years now and was sort of looking for like, where are all the Black led nonprofits? Where are all the Black led initiatives? There are very few. And Ujima really stood out among that ecosystem. So kind of came into the work that way. And I also been wanting to do a little bit more writing and storytelling. I think writing is a thing I love to do and just have never been able to center in my work. And Ujima's content and storytelling really is just so rich. I'd seen that from the outside looking in before I came on the team. And I think that the work that we're doing around solidarity economy and economic inequality is not being talked about by Black people enough. We are not the ones kind of leading those stories enough in Boston. So I think trying to support that wing of our work in terms of storytelling and narrative and really rich content is also what brought me into wanting to be on the team as well, for sure.
Thank you. And Sierra?
Yeah, and I just wanted to like uplift what you said, Paige, because I think, you know, I was actually talking with like someone yesterday, and they said something about like in the 70s, everything was like about seizing the narrative. And that's definitely, I mean, that's something that we do now. And I think that, you know, we have like very rich culture online, you know, and also in our personal lives, but, you know, having like a very concerted effort on the part of like Black organizers to be like, no, everybody, this is what's happening, and you know, this is how we can fix it. Is definitely. I just wanted to uplift that because I thought that you said that so beautifully. Yeah, how I got involved. I mean, so I moved back to Boston as an adult around late 2016, early 2017. And very similar to Paige, was just like kind of like bopping around. I had my friends, but I was really looking for like an organizing community, as well as like I had a lot of interest in organizing artists at the time. And so I met with Aaron Tanaka, who was who is one of the co-founders of Ujima, as well as Nia Evans and some other folks. And just had a conversation with them. And I was just like really intrigued by like, one, the fact that they like even met with me and like wanted to talk to me and my friends, Sarah Wajwa and Jack Skill, about like starting or like thinking about starting, or like what it would even look like, not even thinking about starting, what it would look like to build an artist network or like organizing artists on behalf of Solidarity Economy. At the time, I was just like, oh my God, they're like, I didn't even know how cool they were, how rad this organization was, because it was still in its infancy. It hadn't even launched yet. And so, yeah, I just had a conversation with them back then, and I just started volunteering. And in 2019, I became the Arts and Culture Organizing Fellow. And then in 2020, I became the Communications Director. So it was just, you know, I was just really intrigued by Ujima, similar to Paige, just really interested in like the kind of work that they were doing. And, you know, after reading like their like 20-pager in 2017, I was just like, oh, I was super stoked on like on urban planning at the time. So I was just like, oh my God, placemaking and urban planning and like us creating our own things, this is totally possible. And just really excited about all that stuff. So that's how I came in.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah. So obviously this episode is kind of themed around Juneteenth, which we explained a little bit about in the beginning. But we wanted to know, what does Juneteenth, or some of the themes from Juneteenth, what do they mean to both of you, and how do you bring about those like broader themes or ideas in your work? I know it's a heavy question, so yeah. Whoever wants to go
you want to start this year? I feel like, Sarah, if you want to start, I'm happy to follow.
I can start. Yeah, what does Juneteenth mean to me? I mean, I grew up, I most of my family has like lived in the Massachusetts area. I think I'm like, on my mom's side, I'm like 2 generations deep now. Mm-hmm. So I think I did have a sense of Juneteenth growing up, and like we would go to Franklin Park, you know, to like go to like the cookout, the big cookout that happens there growing up. I think the last time that I was there was like 2019, and it's so crazy. I think y'all were talking about like how popular it is now. It's like so crazy to me that like I knew that people didn't really know about Juneteenth, but how big it is now. Like there weren't this many events even 2 years ago. So it's like really beautiful for me to see that like really ballooning in the city of Boston. So like, I don't know, Juneteenth for me is just like family time and cookouts. It's really just like seeing sororities like online, like dancing, and like a lot of good food, and like just people playing like very loud music out of their cars. And I when I think about, like how that's embodied through Ujima, I mean, I think that we, again, just have like Paige was saying, have a very rich storytelling culture, have a very rich culture of inviting everybody in, no matter like where you are on the political spectrum. If you're respectful, you can join us. So those are some of the things that I'm like feeling and seeing.
Yeah, I love this question. Thank you, Sierra. I think I plus one to all of what you said, and more so the sort of collectivist angle of it. That it's sort of a holiday that I think is really trying to bring together folks across the diaspora. I did not grow up really celebrating Juneteenth because I think mostly because I grew up in a Caribbean Jamaican household, and we just didn't. There wasn't a lot of like literacy of like Black American history, to be honest. So I didn't grow up knowing about it. And I think for the first time, I really got more involved in learning about the history of Juneteenth, more so in college and after. But I think to me, the holiday really just symbolizes community, collectivism, and also like rest. I think Sierra did mention that culturally at Ujima, in terms of staff and how we work, we really believe in rest and taking care of ourselves. We have like week-long staff holidays at different points in the year. So, as Black folks, we take on a lot, and there's a lot that we're working through doing this sort of systemic work. So rest is so important, and Juneteenth really reminds me of that. So I think would add that piece as well.
Word. Yeah. Thank you for lifting that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, rest really is important. And last year where people were like, "Oh yeah, Juneteenth," and like I learned about Juneteenth later, but I noticed that there are some white dude companies where it's like, yeah, my company gave us stuff for Juneteenth, and then I wasn't. I was like, where's my rest? Where's my rest?
Where's my day off?
Where's my day off? As someone directly, who has a cultural connection to Juneteenth, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. So did you have a first Juneteenth celebration experience? Do you want to chat about your first experience, or we can move on to other subjects?
Paige, do you have one?
I might be having one this year, truly, of my own. I guess I've been to a couple of like Juneteenth cookouts in college and such. I think Kendra and I went to a school that had a really rich Black student life, and the student center there had a lot of events around Juneteenth. So I think I had the richest time in college. But I think this year I'm trying to figure out how to host a Juneteenth cookout of my own, because I feel like now I have the means to do it. So that might be my first true Juneteenth that I'm kind of planning. Yeah.
All right, I'll be there.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think as I said, I would love to be in Boston. I wish that I could be in Boston on Juneteenth this year, because I'm like Franklin Park in the summer, just like everybody, going off and like having huge barbecues is lit. And also, I think similar to Paige, like I hadn't actually started celebrating Juneteenth like on my own or with my friends until last year, where we had a live stream. So I'm also a DJ, and with some friends, we decided to do a live stream alongside the Boston or the ICA, the Institute of Contemporary Art Boston, and we just like raised money for organizations. So we're gonna do that again this year. It's called Freedom Fest. So that's like my fun thing that I'm gonna try to do.
Nice.
Is that open to the public?
Yeah, so this year it's with the Decortiva Sculpture Park. Yeah. This year it's with the Decortiva Sculpture Park, and we are raising money for Boston Ujima Project, for the girls, and Activation Residency, which are all like Black queer-led organizations that are, like trying to think about and like plan for our futurity. So we thought that it was really important to raise money for them and uplift them.
Awesome. Yeah. It sounds like there's great things happening this Juneteenth that like everyone should go to. I want to go to. And For the Girls is a really great organization. So this is a good segue to our next question about Pride. So this is Pride Month. This is a gay month, but obviously there's more to the history of Pride than I think what a lot of people, if you go to like a big like corporate pride, there's more of that history than like people hanging out on a float sponsored by Bank of America. So I wanted to know what does like Pride Month mean to you, and what that how that shows up in your work?
Yeah, I don't know, Paige. How do you want to enter into this conversation? I think first of all, like there's a ton of queers on the Boston Ujima Project staff. So I think that's just like the first thing, like we try to represent wherever possible, and create space that feels open to people of all identities across the spectrum. and look for any intersection or any opportunity to collaborate. I'm like, damn, this is such a hard question. Like, how is Ujima? I mean, I think that Blackness is inherently queer, like in some ways, and like I think that Ujima is a way of like, or anytime that you're doing something that's like super different, there's a way that you can be like querying certain technologies, and so like I think Ujima is like querying in a lot of different ways.
I love that academic answer. I'm not going to give an academic answer. I will say, I think it shows up in our work in terms of remembering that Pride, to your point, Kendra, started out as a protest, right? It has deep political, radical roots, right? And there's room for us to celebrate alongside that, but let's not forget the sort of the radicalness of what that effort was supposed to be. And I think that is kind of how I think Ujima relates to that in terms of we celebrate, we uplift, we dance, we are joyful. But we also are doing that liberatory work day to day that is that has rigor to it as well. I think for me, Pride is really just about loving yourself and your community year round, right? That there are months for this and that now, which is great. But I think that the progress and the healing happens throughout the year, internally and with your community as well. So it's really about doing that day to day work on yourself and with others.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Paige.
Yeah, thank you for that response. Yeah, Pride is to party, and the work that went into the first Pride, the brick thrown at at cops, like that's something that we need to work on every day. Yeah, Pride for me means I get on a lot of gang themed shows, which is great. Like I love gang books, book me. But there is like much more. There's a lot deeper in this month.
So, most important, while we have you here, how can our audience take action to support Ujima and Black liberation?
Paige, you want to start?
Yes, definitely buy a ticket or just donate some money if you're feeling generous to our Disco Virtuale show coming up on June 24th. I think the link is somewhere in this stream, but it's also on our Instagram. So definitely buy a ticket and support that. You can also become a member of Ujima and become an investor in our fund. You can also do that through our website as well.
Yeah, and if you don't have any money and you just want to spread the word, sign up for our newsletter. Sign up for our newsletter, send it to 10 friends, and let people know about our work.
So we just threw up links to donate to Ujima in Twitter, in Facebook, all over the place. So check out the chat for the link and do it. And I'm definitely gonna check out the disco party. I'll buy my ticket right after this.
Yes, I want to be at that disco party. I feel like we all deserve a party, but especially the people here. Also, disco's great. Like the world needs more disco.
Yeah,
the world needs more disco. The world needs more soul. The world needs more peace.
Yes,
absolutely. And we could dress up from the waist up.
Exactly.
Please
get your glitters. Get the disco ball out.
The sequins.
Wear your finest soul food. Yeah, the sequins. Wear your finest. Soul train. Wear your Soul Train best.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for spending your time with us and helping us, and we appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Yeah, that was awesome.
Amazing.
With, the Boston Ujima project. So, of course, as always, like there's lots of ways you could support becoming a member, becoming a voting member, and then also spreading the word. They're very inclusive of people, regardless of income level, and also like party on behalf of Ujima. Another
party
great
work. Yeah, party work. It's all intertwined.
It's all intertwined. It really is.
I loved Paige talking about how important it is to, yes, celebrate, but remember the struggle and remember the resistance as part of these different communities of color. It's so important. Yeah. Dance and struggle and resist and dance more.
Yes.
End it with a dance.
Yeah, you got to end it with a dance. But resistance is important. I think it's like easy for a lot of people, especially if you're like outside the queer community, to be like, oh yeah, like there's gay marriage, like everything's fine, and like not really think about the ways that people in the community are still marginalized. You know, there's like still, and these issues are compounded, obviously, if you are of a marginalized race or like have, you know, with intersections, there's a lot of different ways. But like, yeah, there's still like laws where you can legally just fire someone if they're trans. That is not good. That is not, you know,
it's so
like, yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done. So we could dance, and then we gotta like remember, like, all right, let's get back to the books. Yeah,
dance,
let's throw more bricks.
Yep, that is it. Well, show up. I mean, that's what it is. It keeps coming back to just show up.
Yeah.
Well, however you can. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but we are going to get to hear from Marcus Jade again, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Hey, I'm back.
Hi, your music and voice just like penetrates my soul. Absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait to listen again.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. This is so exciting to hear, and so much knowledge, so many gems being dropped. So I appreciate listening in. I pulled out my resonator guitar to play some songs, and I wanted to show some blues to you guys. Just my things. This is a song that I wrote. And I'm going to start this off with a little dedication piece to Juneteenth. I think it's very important that we all lift every voice and sing. And so I want to play this song. I want to start this song off with Lift Every Voice and Sing. Thank you. This is a song about a family member that was locked down.
Your letter this morning, reading out loud the words you said. I got your letter this morning, reading out loud the words you said. Said you was in penitentiary, laying down in your bed. You spend your days reading books to keep your mind from growing up. Spend your days reading books from growing up, I swear you do. You say your days are long, your nights leave you feeling numb. Got a 23-hour lockdown and an hour of the sun. Got a 23-hour lockdown now and an hour of the sun. It's a shame you don't get to see nobody. Crippled in the blind, wanna break out and run. Hear the screams of grown men in the middle of the night. I know you hear the screams of grown men in the middle of the night. Warden and the guys, they never ever treat you right. Lord, I miss you all so much. Free all my homies locked down. Lord, I miss you all so much. Free all my homies locked down now. I know you're can't wait for you to get out and have your family around.
Thank you. I want to do this last piece. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all very much. I'm going to do this. This is a song I recently wrote, and I'm going to finger pick it. But this is dedicated to everybody listening. Thank you. And this is a piece that I wrote about what's going on right now. And we're living in some wild times. I think we're living in some corona times, if you ask me. And this is a piece that's kind of dedicated to everybody. I just hope that the word and the message gets out. And Black lives will always matter forever, no matter what.
I woke up this morning in a room all alone. They know it's killing niggas easy. They all want me gone. I swear I'm living in love. In these corona times, I swear if I can breathe, I think I'll lose my life. You see it on the news each and every time. Black man trying to live his life, they bout to gun him down. I swear I'm living there, Lord. In these corona times, swear if I can breathe, I think I'll lose my life. So I pray to the Lord, I ask her why. Why does my country want me to die? I think I'm living there. In these corona times, swear if I can breathe, I think I'll lose my life. You see us marching on the streets, all around the shout, and everybody know Black Lives Matters. What it's about, I swear I'm living in these corona times. I swear if I can breathe, yeah, I think I'll lose my life. I think I'll lose.
Thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was great.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it really is so beautiful. It reminds me that the blues is from Black people, which I think we all need a reminder about. Yeah.
Always,
Yeah.
always.
Are you performing live yet?
Excuse me?
Are you performing live yet? Like, can we see you someplace live or online?
Yeah, my next show is June 25th, upstate New York, Orange County Arts Fair, Arts Festival. I have to get it right. I'm gonna make a post about it soon. It's upstate New York, somewhere between Newburgh, Beacon, New York, and so I'll be there. And then I just got the email a few days ago that I'll also be playing at Porch Stomp 2021. That is in Governor's Island, in between Brooklyn and Manhattan. I'll be taking the country music stage. So see me at 4:00 p.m. if you are in New York City.
Yeah,
June 26th.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for performing. And if people aren't able to see you in person, where could they find more of your music?
They can find more of my music directly at marcusj.bandcamp.com.
Hell yeah.
But if they sign up to my Patreon at $1 a month, at as low as $1 a month, it go $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. They get exclusive previews of unreleased music. Even if they sign up to my Bandcamp and become a subscriber at $5 a month, they get exclusive unreleased music. I'm releasing content all the time, even through my Patreon. And so there's just a stream of just blues music and just art that is always coming out of me. And if they sign up for $10 a month starting now, you can get, if you sign up at $20 a month, let me correct that, $20 a month on my Patreon, I will send you a copy of my book that I wrote called The End of a Cigarette. And it was exclusively made through support through Patreon. One of my patrons helped me out to make it, and it became a thing of real tangibility manifesting. And I was like, oh my God, I wrote a book. So I'm a published writer, published poet, if anything.
Yes.
Published out of England, of all places. So I was like, yeah, that's really nice. So
that's fancy publishing.
Really nice paper and everything. I'm like, whoa, excited. You can feel it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for performing for us today, Marcus. That was really excellent. And yeah, you're great.
Thank you
so much. Beautiful. I'm a fan. I'll be a patron.
Yes.
I'll be a patron. I don't have $1 a month, but I'll send you something. I will make cookies every month. We'll work it out.
If you did that, that would be amazing.
I can do that. That I can do. All right. We'll talk. We'll chat about it. I already followed you. I already stand you all over the place on Instagram and everywhere. So cookies.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
right.
So dope.
Yeah.
Follow him. Find him on Bandcamp, because the cool thing about Bandcamp is, Kendra, is artists get the money themselves.
Yes, it doesn't they don't on Spotify. Yeah.
No, you don't get basically anything on Spotify, but Bandcamp, if you purchase vinyl or downloads or whatever from Bandcamp, the artist actually makes money. So find him on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm. I'm finding him on Twitter right now. I encourage everyone to listen to your favorite artist on Bandcamp. If you like a problematic artist, that's when you go to Spotify, because they're gonna get like 1 cent for each like basically 50 records of theirs that you play. That's how you don't support an artist. Go to Spotify. If you have problematic faves, go to Spotify.
Go to Spotify. What an awesome show. I love doing this show with you. Everybody was so great. What are some action items from listening to Paige and Sierra?
Yeah. So some of the things that Paige and Sierra suggested was obviously supporting the Boston Ujima projects in whatever way you can. So of course there are kind of the tiers of membership where you could become a voting member, making sure that like, you know, you make the decisions of where some money in the organization goes, like who it goes to. But there's also like, maybe you're like, oh, that's a lot of commitment. Or maybe you're like, oh, I don't know if I have like enough money each month. You could go to their like virtual dance parties. The event that they have like with For the Girls, and I think like one other one, fantastic. Definitely go to those and just spread the word. Just tell other people about the Boston Ujima Project.
And, you know, one of our missions here at the show is to show everybody out there, all you viewers, there's got to be hundreds of thousands by now, right? All of you viewers, to remind you that showing up is possible at any level that you feel comfortable with, or you just want to put effort into. So after today, here's 3 things you could do at the very, 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 very least. Even if you don't have any money, even if you don't have any money to donate to any of these things, the very least you can do, educate yourself about the events leading up to the Juneteenth celebration. Read about the Union troops marching into Galveston and why that was so important and what actually happened when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, and what happened in Reconstruction, and how things just took a horrible backpedal during Jim Crow, which is kind of what we're doing now. But these things are so important to put into historical content to understand what is happening now. Go back, read about the Stonewall riots, you know, go to the parade, wear your rainbows, be an ally, and be in solidarity, but educate yourself on the Stonewall riot and why that was important and what that changed going forward. And go to Boston Ujima Project website, immerse yourself in it, and go deeper. If you have any questions, go deeper. You can Google a pair of sneakers if you want to find them, right? Like, I know everybody could do that, right? You see some dope sneakers on the street and you're like, Nikes, Aqua, Splatter, and then you find them. So do that. Go see what you find on Ujima website that you can go deeper into.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, education is part of the game, and like if you know the right stuff, then you know what you could do, the small things that you could do to take action. So definitely learn about Stonewall. And also there's like a lot of like, there has been a lot of work around gay liberation even before Stonewall, which like Stonewall was like a very big watershed moment. But there's also like a lot of cool groups that were like, yeah, like we should be allowed to do what we want. And that was considered radical in like the 1950s or 1940s or whatever. And I think I'm a history nerd. I love learning history. I think it's fascinating. I mean, you learn a lot about it. You learn some of the mistakes from the past. Like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do this, or, you know, like, yeah.
You learn red flags of the present too. Like if you don't know historically, if you don't know these things historically, then you don't see the red flags that are happening right now.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Not to end it on a down note, but thank you so much to everybody who showed up. Thank you to Marcus Peters. You can find him on Bandcamp, don't forget. And to Paige Curtis and Sierra. I said Marcus Peters. Marcus Jade, okay? This is my brain under a hot roof with a little tiny bit of weed. But Marcus Jade, find him on Bandcamp. And thank you to Paige Curtis and Sierra Peters from Boston Ujima Project. And don't forget the Disco Virtuale. I don't know if that's how they wanted us to say it, but that's how I feel like
that's how they said it.
Okay, Disco Virtuale.
Make it a little European. Just like add a twist to it, you know. Yeah.
Like that. June 24th. It's a virtual event. Tickets are available at ujimaboston.com.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a big announcement for 2MB Studios, right?
Yeah, so 2MB Studios, next month, we are having a big fundraiser to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of 2MB Studios. This year has been long as hell. Y'all have been watching for like a straight year. You've been watching like this show, tons of silly shows, like incredibly silly shows. So come celebrate with us. We're going to do a big fundraiser, not for us, but for another organization, because like we want to spread the wealth. So that's going to be in about a month. We'll give you more details for that coming up. So look out for those. And then after that, we're going to move showing up to about once every 3 months. We love you. We're not doing this because we don't want to hang out with you. Like you're great friends. It's just, you know, we have a lot going on, you know, like we're busy with work. I mean, Bethany, I don't know how you're feeling, but like comedy is kind of like happening again, which is wild.
It is. It's crazy.
It's so weird. It's so
Are you
weird.
doing shows? Are you doing live shows?
I do have a few live shows lined up in the actually. Yeah, I have a few Pride shows. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. And we're in New England where, like, you know, a good amount of people have been vaccinated. So get vaccinated and come see us at a show if you haven't gotten vaccinated. If you're having trouble getting vaccinated, reach out to me. I'll like give you money so that you don't still get paid after a day of work, all of that, you know. So
yes. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll bake you cookies if you take the day off of work.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
We'll
That's the biggest thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you in 3 months? Or see you at a show. You'll see me like this. I'm not ballsy at all, so I'm still going to be in a mask. So if you see me, I'll be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you can see us at a show. You'll see us like we'll be around the network, you know, in July, and yeah, but you can also see us like in person. Come to our shows, check us out. Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you to our crew. We have the dopest crew, don't we? Shout out to the 2MB crew, to the 2MB crew, to the Showing Up crew, to everybody, and you. Bye.
And you.